Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to take a side-by-side comparison look with the 2022 Cadillac CT5 V Blackwing and the BMW M5. Both of these are very luxurious sedans. They're a little bit larger than some of the other models that each brand has to offer, and they are very performance oriented. So we're going to take a look at all the engine specifications as well as the exterior and the interior, some of the other features that are offered, and then get both of these out on the road and really see how they drive and perform. Now the BMW M5 starts right around just over $100,000, where the Cadillac CT5 V Blackwing starts in the mid $80,000 range. So there's a small price discrepancy between both of them. However, you could have a similarly priced model just depending on the options that you go with. So we're going to start off with the Cadillac CT5 V Blackwing. This is powered by a 6.2 liter supercharged V8 paired to the 6-speed manual or 10-speed automatic, and it pumps out 668 horsepower and 659 pound-feet of torque. That power sent to the rear wheels. This weighs in right around 4,100 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, up to its top speed just over 200 miles an hour, and it has a fuel capacity of 17 gallons. You'll expect to see around 13 miles per gallon in the city and 21 out on the highway. As we move over to the M5 now, this has a smaller displacement, a 4.4 liter twin power turbo V8, only paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission, and pumps out 617 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque, so significantly lower. This has the X-Drive all-wheel drive system. It weighs in right around 4,300 pounds. It does have a quicker 0 to 60 time at 3.2 seconds, a little bit slower top speed at 177 miles an hour, and it does have a larger fuel capacity of 20.1 gallons. You'll expect to see around 15 miles per gallon in the city and 21 out on the highway. As we work our way to the exterior styling now, the Cadillac, especially finished off in this electric blue and all of the gloss black, has a really nice design. This does have LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals, and the DRLs have a really nice split design. This is very iconic for the latest Cadillac models, with the bodywork separating the headlight housing from that lower section. A lot of mesh in this front end design. All of the mesh is also finished off in a V logo, so it matches being the V model from Cadillac. This has a forward-facing camera, all of the parking sensors, a lot of cutouts in that lower grille, just to provide even more cooling to the front engine components as well as better aerodynamics for this sporty family sedan. And just really nice lines with this color, all of them pop. Really clean lines run down the hood as well, meeting the top section of the grille there very nicely. On the BMW, this does have LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals as well, along with a forward-facing camera. A lot more cutouts are in this mesh too, as well as in the lower section of the bumper. Plenty of cutouts on the air inlets on both sides. And it still retains a good look, even finished off in this black here. And there are really nice contoured lines in the lower section of the bumper, as well as some clean lines that come down the hood, meeting the top of that kidney grille very nicely. And then moving our way to the side profile now, for this Cadillac, it has a really nice set of 19-inch wheels, finished off in black, which is a great accent against this blue, matches all of the exterior black accents as well. This has cameras on the side mirrors, so it does have the 3D camera system. No sunroof for this model though. All of the window trim is blacked out, as well as the lower section, and a really clean side profile design. Very sleek for the sedan, just to give it that Cadillac inspiration with being a sleek and classy model. Over on the BMW, this has a gloss black set of 20-inch wheels with the red M Sport brakes. Give it a great contrast against this black. This does have cameras in the side mirrors as well, so we have that 3D camera system. This doesn't have a sunroof either, however, it has the carbon fiber roof, which would not have the sunroof. Really cool to see that option for this sporty sedan. And overall side profile, just like the Cadillac, really nice lines running down the side. And for the rear end on the Cadillac, it has a trunk mounted spoiler finished off in body colored. This has a backup camera with all of those sensors, LED turn signals. The quad tip dual exhaust as well is in the lower section of the bumper, where there's even more gloss black, and the reverse light right in the middle gives it a really nice design to finish up the rear end for this model. On the BMW, it has a trunk mounted spoiler as well, the LED taillights with a dark housing, has a backup camera and all of those sensors as well. Even the quad tip dual exhaust in a little bit different of a configuration. And then as we work our way to the interior now for the Cadillac CT5 V Blackwing, there are carbon fiber accents on this door panel along with leather. This has the memory seating adjustments, some really nice trim pieces too. All the window controls, obviously, all the side mirror adjustments. There's even a release for the rear trunk storage space and plenty of room down in the lower section of the door. And then moving to the seats, they have a great design to them, finished off in black with the white piping. The small V logo is right in the middle, and these are heated seats too. They have a really nice design with the insert running down them, and you can even adjust the forward section of the seat. If you need a little bit more comfort for your legs, they are automatic seats as well. On the M5, this model here has a two-tone interior, as well as the memory seating adjustments, all the window controls, side mirror adjustments, obviously, even a release for the trunk, and a good amount of storage space in the door panel. As we move on to the seats now, they retain that two-tone design with the M5 badge right in the middle. These are heated seats, have a really nice design running down them, and the front section of the seat is also adjustable. It is automatic on the M5, but just like in the Cadillac, it gives you that extra leg support if you need it. And then looking at the digital gauge cluster now in this Cadillac, there's a lot of information you can go through. As you can tell, I'm scrolling through a lot of vitals, as well as different daily driving aspects that you need to look at, your driver assistance, the navigation. You can also go through a lot more of the V performance settings, look at your lap timer as well as your G-forces, even the launch control, which is really nice to see on a family sedan like this. But there's a lot more vitals that you can go through, and it's really nice to have all that information front and center. And then over on the BMW, this does have a digital gauge cluster as well. There's a lot of information that's very helpful to go through within that tach there. The navigation also stays front and center, which is really nice to have, especially if you're daily driving this. You can see what gear you're in along with your MPG and a few other vitals. And then moving on to the infotainment system for the Cadillac, has a really nice touchscreen system. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, navigation, all of those apps you can go into. Really easy system to swipe through all this information. There's even Spotify. The shortcuts to all of the AC controls as well. So it's nicely laid out, and it even has the PDR. So when you have an SD card plugged in, you can actually monitor your driving, and it will record using the cameras on the exterior of the vehicle. Really cool to be able to monitor all that information. On the BMW, you have a little bit larger of a screen, a little bit different of a shape as well, but a lot more information to go through. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, navigation, all of those features are available on this model too. So they are very similar. The BMW does not have the PDR system, so the cameras are not used in that aspect. Mainly that is a GM feature, but it's nice that we have the configurable M mode buttons, which the Cadillac does not have. So you can go through all these different settings, just depending on how you'd like to get this set up. And then back to the Cadillac, all of the buttons underneath have a really nice layout. All of the aluminum buttons come to a point in a V. So it's nice to see how that V logo is incorporated into all of those controls. The heated and ventilated seat controls are just underneath that, along with a few other buttons. Really nice layout. You can see the 6-speed manual as well is just behind that. And like I mentioned earlier, with the 3D camera system, there are plenty of different angles to see around this entire model, just depending on what your driving situation is and what you'd like to see when you're out on the road. Over on the BMW, this has an LCD screen for all of the climates, so it is a touchscreen system. Really cool to see that incorporated. It hides a lot of the buttons since they're on the lower section of that screen. There's a few other controls on both sides, and then there's even more storage space down below. Now obviously, since this is not a manual, it's going to be a little bit different of a layout. And then with the camera system, it's very similar to the Cadillac with a different orientation to be able to view all that information. And this even has the automatic parking, so it's the parallel parking assistance, as well as the backup assistance. The gesture control is a neat feature to be able to see the 360 view, and we even have a top-down view for the front. And as we move on to the back seats now in this Cadillac CT5 V Blackwing, you can see the carbon fiber, all the black leather, just to give it more of that upscale and classy look. There's some brushed aluminum covering the speakers, and then once we move into the inside, I am 5'10". I have plenty of room for my feet and my legs. Headroom was actually pretty good too. We did have a CT4 V Blackwing for about a week or so, so I can see the CT5 V being a little bit larger in the back seats. We have some amenities like the armrest and the cup holders, and the seats even fold down as well, so that gives you a lot more interior space for this family sedan. Over on the BMW, the back seat room is about the same. However, there is the addition of a third climate control zone, which the Cadillac did not have. So you can go through all of these, as well as the heated seats. So a little bit more luxurious in the back seats of this BMW. And the back seats also fold down in a 40-20-40 split, so that gives you a little bit more versatility compared to the Cadillac. Making your way to the trunk space now for the Cadillac. This does have the power trunk, so that trunk lid will open right up. A large flat surface to place any items. There's a storage bin on the passenger side and some battery components and access over on the driver's side. Now with the back seats folded down, you can get another angle. There's not really any overhang, so it makes it that much more doable to put in larger items and to make this practical, as well as having a little bit of storage underneath the floorboard if you need to use it. So very nice to see that. It is not electronic, so you do have to close it manually. Over on the BMW, very similar layout with the storage on the passenger side and the battery components on the driver's side. And you can see the storage is very similar to the Cadillac with the back seats folded down. And this does have the automatic adjustments to close the power trunk. But now let's get both of these out on the road. And right now we're just in normal mode. So it's just like we're driving.
It feels like a Cadillac.
Yeah, it's been very comfortable and quiet so far.
Yeah, very smooth.
Even coming around this turn, just going at the normal speed here, seems to handle pretty well. But I think we need to push on this V mode button and really listen to this. So we're gonna go into sport mode along with V. We have the rev matching, which we can use if needed. Give it a little bit of gas. Huh?
Wow.
It's not crazy loud.
It's pretty quiet.
I was expecting it to be a little bit louder, but that wasn't even anything crazy. And you can definitely feel that this wants to keep going.
The fit and finish seems nice. The leather on the dashboard and everything. I mean, it's what, almost six-figure Cadillac?
Yeah.
So yeah, it should be pretty nice in here.
Depending on options you go with, starts right around 85. I think you can also get carbon ceramics if you want, as we get into second.
Yeah, and that's not even getting crazy in the revs.
Wow. I mean, we're only going to like 3,000.
Yeah, I can't imagine ringing it out.
This goes up to right around 4,500, 5,000. You can go a little bit higher than that if you want to. And you want the 6-speed manual. It is so smooth to drive. Shifter is the clutch pedal is very light. Shifter is really smooth. This is a monster of a family sedan. You could drive this every single day. And like I am right now, just drive it normally, just like a normal drive here. We have that transmission setting there all the way down into 1, but I absolutely love this spec with the interior and the exterior color. Everything just has a premium feel to it. It's what you would expect for an M5. I really love it. I love the new screen down below here. It's very easy to use, very touch sensitive as well, so you can easily control everything. You have that upper screen too. But let's go ahead now and pop it into the manual mode. So just by clicking on M, you'll see the gauge cluster here change a good bit. And now we can go all the way down into second gear, give it a little bit of gas. Wow, that is pretty quick. And that was in setting 1 basically for the transmission. So they don't feel slow, they feel quick like you would expect. But now if we go ahead and pop it all the way up into setting 3, we'll go ahead and downshift again here. You can feel it just a little bit quicker. And so now coming back to discuss the final thoughts between the 2022 Cadillac CT5 V Blackwing and the BMW M5. Now personally, I'm a little torn between which model I would go with. I like the fact that with the Cadillac, you have the option to get the 6-speed manual. The BMW M5 does not have an option for the manual. Some of the older models did have an option. However, on the latest generation, the manual is no longer an option. If you want to go with a sedan and the manual, you need to go down to the M3. But comparing this M5 to the Cadillac, I really like the fact that you can get the manual in the CT5. You're going to have a lot more horsepower in the Cadillac as well, and a little bit lower of a starting price. So if you can find one, if you're lucky enough to find one, or you have to place an order, the Cadillac is going to be a little bit less. However, in the BMW, you do get some more amenities, like even having the climate controls and the heated seats for your backseat passengers. A little bit more practicality with the split for the seats compared to the Cadillac, where it has that 60-40 split. As far as driving these out on the road, they still both have a fun factor to them. We had a CT4 V Blackwing for about a week with the automatic transmission, and that was a blast to drive in the mountains. Now, we haven't been able to have a BMW sedan out on the mountain roads, but I'm sure with all the performance that it has, it's going to perform very nicely, probably even very similar to the Cadillac model. Now, the Cadillac has a lot more horsepower, but they do have a very similar 0 to 60 time with their weight discrepancies, which really wasn't all that much. So it really just depends on which one you like and why. It's hard to argue against this Cadillac being finished off in electric blue. It looks a lot more stunning than the BMW finished off in black. Obviously, that is a personal preference, but the BMW is still fun. I love driving BMWs. I really enjoyed my time behind the wheel of the Cadillac as well. So I am personally torn. Comment down below which model would you go with and why. Both of them are very luxurious. Cadillac is known for being luxurious. It's going to provide a little bit smoother of a ride. Probably not a lot more than the BMW. It's going to be hard to tell. BMW is going to be a little bit more sporty. Not quite as flashy. Obviously, the color will depend on that too. But you do get a lot more carbon fiber with the BMW. However, you can get some carbon fiber goodies on the exterior of the Cadillac. So it really just depends on the options you go with and how you'd like to spec your car. So I hope you all enjoyed today's video, checking out the Cadillac CT5 V and the BMW M5. Comment down below which one you would go with and why. Also give the video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.